So I'm going to show you how to start your use of the pen tool. We're going to use the tool over here to create a path. A path is basically a plan for the area we're going to modify or fill with color later on actually on. And before we do this though, this tool is very, very difficult to see. So in order to make it easier over here on my layers, I'm going to do what's called an adjustment layer. I'm going to click this and I'm going to change this to basically black and white. I'm going to hit change to a grayscale. And I'm going to click this one more time, go to brightness and contrast. I'm going to lower the brightness down so that you can actually see this because it's a very difficult tool to see. All right, so starting with the pen, what I'm going to do is I'm going to outline my entire figure. For the sake of speed, I'm going to just do the hair here. And I'm going to click everywhere where my line has a radical direction change. So it's going to curve around to that corner. Now I want to go to the end of this hair and come back up to here, but because it's going to intersect the line, I'm going to put one in the middle. It's very, very easy to take these anchors, as they're called, these little squares are anchors, to add or subtract them later on. So come around here. This is going to do sort of an S-curve, not a problem. We'll come back to that in a minute here. So I'm just going to cook along. And some of these areas, like all this hair, we're going to simplify it a bit. I'm going to put some strands of hair in, but not a ton of them. There, I'll do 3. That'll work. Come back up it here and reconnect this. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold my Control for PC, Command for Mac. I'm going to hold that down and click on the line. You can see all my anchors reactivate. You're going to use basically the Control or Command button and the Alt button. All right. So to bend this line, I have it set to auto add or delete anchors. So if I click on an anchor, it deletes it. If I click on the line, it adds one. And then I hold my Control button down and bend. So click and add, Command button for the Macs, that's what you guys are going to be using, bend that out. Click and add, Command button, and I can bend this out. Now once I have this line in place, still holding my Command button down, I can click and I can move it around, and you can see this creates handles that allow me to manipulate the line. I said the whole time holding the Command button down here. I'm going to click and add, hold my Command button down. I'm going to get rid of this, and you can notice when I let go of my Command button, the minus shows up. So when I click on that anchor, it goes away. Hold my Command button down. That got a little squirrely, didn't it? Here we go. Just use my handles, bend that back in place. So click that and anchor, Command button down, bend this. Now here I'm just going to simplify this a little bit, but here, you know what? Just show you something different. Click and add one. I'm going to bend this out. Let's say I want to come this to a sharp point. I want it to come to a sharp point. I hold my Alt button down. You're going to see this sort of V thing. What this does is this changes it between a bending line and a sharp edge. So when I click on it, that goes to a little spike. I now have to add an anchor, Command button down, bend that. Add an anchor, Command button down, bend that. I'm going to do this a lot, obviously. Oops. So what I just did is I didn't hit the Command button, and so it made a new anchor on a totally new path. I don't want that. I'm going to Command Z to go back, hold my Command button down. Command button is going to be your friend. And I can manipulate this line. And notice as soon as I bend this line once again, there's my handle. This is going to take a little bit of getting used to, but you'll get it. Click to add, hold the Command button down, pull this out here, and I can manipulate these handles to make this line S-curve or do whatever I want to it. All right. A lot of times here, don't leave straight lines, even if they're short ones. Straight lines just don't feel natural, unless of course it's supposed to be straight. But otherwise, they have a tendency to feel sort of robotic, and your outlines will look like they've been cut out with scissors, which we don't want. So even a small line's good. So once again, I add just a little bit of bend there just to make it feel natural. And we're not going to do every single hair. That's just kind of ridiculous. unless you feel you've got that sort of time. And by the way, you can move this around this way too, so you can create your bend you want. So there I've got my hair completed. Now, as I said, for yours, you're going to probably outline your entire figure first, which I actually have a lot more of, like that. Okay, outline your entire figure first, and then go ahead and start manipulating your lines. All right, that's it.